The Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the alleged annexation of the country's Mangrove Islands in maritime territories by the Republic of Cameroon. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin would hold a highly anticipated phone call Tuesday to discuss the Ukrainian war with Kyiv and its European allies, demanding that Russia agree to an unconditional U.S. proposed ceasefire. Washington and Moscow have expressed optimism about recent talks, but it remains to be seen if Trump can convince Putin to agree to a U.S. proposed 30-day ceasefire, more than 3 years into Russia's invasion. At number 9, Adelaide United midfielder Josh Cavallo, who came out as gay in 2021, says he still receives multiple death threats every day. The 25-year-old said football remains a very toxic place for openly gay players. When Australian Cavallo came out, he was the only top-flight openly gay male professional footballer. Despite the threats, Cavallo, who was 21 when he came out, wished he had done such earlier. At number 8, the House of Representatives on Tuesday resolved to launch a comprehensive investigation into the status of the 5% user charge designated for the maintenance of federal roads across the country. The probe will examine outstanding funds owed to the Federal Road Maintenance Agency and identify official responsibility for implementing the policy. At number 7, the Taraba State Government and Sector Lead Limited have signed an agreement for the development of a 15-megawatt waste-to-power plant. They signed the agreement in Government House, Jalingo, for the plant aimed at converting municipal solid waste into clean energy. The 25-year-old renewable agreement was signed in the presence of the Program Director, Strategy and Portfolio Delivery Officer, the State Commissioner for Environment and Climate Change, and the Commissioner for Waste Management and Resource, representing the state government. At number 6, an explosion has rocked the Trans-Niger pipeline in the Bodo community, Gokana local government area of Rivers State. It reportedly occurred on Monday night along the pipeline that transports crude to the Bonny Export Terminal in Rivers State. In a viral video of the explosion spotted by Channels Television, thick black smoke billowed into the sky as the fire surged into the mangrove. While the fire had been put out, the cause of the explosion is unknown at this time, but investigations are ongoing over the incidents. And number 5, Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja has struck out the preliminary objection of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, challenging the competence of the 100 billion naira import license suit instituted by Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals. In a ruling, Justice Ekwo held that the NNPCL failed to file a counter-affidavit against Dangote Refinery suit, but rather filed a preliminary objection, contrary to relevant law guiding court proceedings. And number 4, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has approved for Max Air to resume its domestic flight operation following a successful completion of an economic and safety audit. The director of the NCAA Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of the NCAA, Michael Achimugu, noted that during the suspension period, the NCAA conducted a thorough safety and economic audit of the airline. And number 3, a fire that broke out at Alagbede Tipper Garage in Ilorin South local government area of Kwara State in the early hours of Tuesday has destroyed 3 trucks out of the 42 parked in the garage. According to reports, the fire started around 1:45 a.m. from a waste collection truck packed with refuse inside. The flames quickly spread to 2 other trucks before firefighters contained the situation. At number 2, the House of Representatives on Tuesday passed the 4 tax reform bills transmitted to the National Assembly in October 2024 by President Bola Tinubu. Recall that the House had on Thursday last week considered and approved the report of the House Committee on Finance, which made some recommendations, particularly in controversial areas such as the value-added tax and inheritance tax. And at number 1, the Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the alleged annexation of the country's Mangrove Island and maritime territories by the Republic of Cameroon. The committee is expected to report back with necessary recommendations in the next 2 months. As part of its resolution, the Senate has urged President Bola Tinubu to take immediate steps to safeguard Nigeria's territorial waters, including securing over 2,560 oil wells identified within the disputed Mangrove Islands in Akwa Ibom State. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.